Disaster recovery planning is a process of preparing an organization to handle a disaster and recover from it. Whether the disaster is natural or man-made, the key emphasis of a DR plan is to reestablish operations at the primary site, the location at which the organization performs its business. The goal of the plan is to make things whole, or as they were before the disaster. Business continuity planning prepares an organization to reestablish or relocate critical business operations during a disaster that affects operations at the primary site. If a disaster has rendered the current location unusable, a plan must be in place to allow the business to continue to function. The selected strategy usually involves some form of off-site facility, which should be inspected, configured, secured, and tested on a periodic basis. An organization can choose from several strategies when planning for business continuity. In general, organizations have three exclusive options: hot sites, warm sites, and cold sites. A hot site is a pinnacle of contingency planning. It is a duplicate facility that needs only the latest data backups and personnel to become a fully operational twin of the original. A warm site frequently includes computing equipment and peripherals with servers, but not client workstations. A cold site provides only rudimentary services and facilities. No computer hardware or peripherals are provided. A timeshare allows the organization to maintain a disaster recovery and business continuity option by sharing the cost of a hot, warm, or cold site with one or more partners. A service bureau agrees to provide physical facilities. These types of agencies also frequently provide off-site data storage for a fee. Mutual agreements stipulate that participating unaffected organizations are obligated to provide necessary requirements. Several more options are available, and some can be used for purposes other than restoring continuity. Electronic vaulting transfers data offsite in batches. Remote journaling transfers transactions only and in real time. Database shadowing combines the server fault tolerance with remote journaling. The actions taken during and after a disaster are referred to as crisis management. Crisis management offers and differs dramatically from incident response, as it focuses first and foremost on the people involved. Disaster recovery personnel must know the rules without any supporting documentation. This knowledge is a function of preparation, training, and rehearsal. The crisis management team is responsible for managing the event from an enterprise perspective and covers the following major activities: supporting personnel and their loved ones during the crisis, determining the event's impact on normal business operations, and, if necessary, making a disaster declaration, keeping the public informed about the event and the actions being taken to ensure the recovery of personnel and the enterprise, communicating with interested parties. An organization can build a single document that combines all aspects of the contingency policy and plan, incorporating the IR, DER, and BC plans. All contingency planners live by the following words: plan for the worst and hope for the best. The 6 steps in contingency planning processes are identifying mission or business critical functions, identifying resources that support critical functions, anticipating potential contingencies or disasters, selecting contingency planning strategies, implementing contingency strategies, and testing and revising strategy. When an organization considers involving law enforcement in an incident, several questions must be answered. Some of these questions are best answered by the organization's legal department, but organizations should be prepared to address them in the absence of legal staff. The advantages of law enforcement agencies are may be better equipped at processing evidence. Organization may be less effective in convicting suspects. Law enforcement agencies are prepared to handle any necessary warrants and sub bonus. Law enforcement is skilled at obtaining witnesses, statements, and other information collection. While the disadvantages of law enforcement agencies are the following: once a law enforcement agency takes over case, organization cannot control chain of events. Organization may not hear about case for weeks or months. Equipment vital to the organization's business may be tagged as evidence. If organization detects a criminal act, It is legally obligated to involve appropriate law enforcement officials.
Summary: Management has essential role in development, maintenance, and enforcement of information security policy, standards, practices, procedures, and guidelines. Information security blueprint is planning document that is basis for design, selection, and implementation of all security policies, education and training programs, and technological controls. Information security education, training, and awareness, or SETA, is control measure that reduces accidental security breaches and increases organizational resistance to many other forms of attack. Contingency planning made up of three components, the incident response planning, disaster recovery planning, and business continuity planning.